on. So Fred, what are you doing here, man?
Well, brother, I want to tell you, once I got out of the military and started realizing that you can use food as medicine, I wanted to create my own garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I did last year. You know, it worked out pretty well. You know, raised beds, you know, containers, and I actually grew quite a bit of vegetables, but I wanted to do more. So I started watching online, looking at YouTube. YouTube is my friend because I learned so much from YouTube on how to do a garden, but I don't want to go through and I don't want to dig everything up. You know, I don't want to sit there and till. I don't have all that equipment, all right? I just wanted to do something simple that will actually give back to the earth and you know, go from there. So what I did was I saw a few different videos on what they call lasagna gardening. So lasagna, basically, you know, when you're eating lasagna, you got different layers, right?
We'll put some hamburger helper with that, or what?
That comes later.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, what we start off with is I collected a bunch of cardboard. As you can see, I got cardboard here. This is actually what I've already finished. So I lay a bunch of cardboard down.
And what'd you say about the cardboard? That it shouldn't have too much writing on it?
You don't want to have printing or tape on the cardboard.
Okay, got it.
So you want to get like just regular cardboard without any of the printing, you know, stuff that's been printed on it, because it doesn't decay or break down as well as just regular cardboard.
Okay.
Then what I did was, and what I try to do is I try to get as much as I can for free, you know, because I'm just really cheap that way. So I asked the city when they came through and they were cutting the limbs down to make room for the power cords or power lines and the phone lines. I asked them what they do with all that wood chips that they, you know, break down. And they said, well, we dump it unless somebody wants it. And I said, bring it on in. So that's pretty much all I got left right there. I don't know if you can see it, but we can walk over in a little bit. That actually, that pile was bigger than me when I first started.
Gonna kind of zoom in on the pile there.
So
okay.
The pile of
so that was bigger.
Left over. So like I said, once we start, we'll lay down a layer of cardboard, and all this cardboard I got at maybe Lowe's or Walmart or wherever, you know, and I just kind of like walking around and I see that people are, you know, getting ready to get rid of this big pile of cardboard. I said, hey, let me get that. Okay, go ahead. So I bring it home, I lay it out. Once I lay out a layer of cardboard, I put a layer of wood chips down.
Okay.
This all breaks down and feeds back to the earth.
Nice.
And then once you know, it actually helps the environment, and it actually helps what you're growing to even be, you know, make you healthier. So
what's the benefit of growing your own stuff, Fred? I mean, you know,
well,
why should people want to do that?
I think everybody should do this because what you get in the store, it may be good to a point, but there has to go. A lot of stuff is being shipped from like Mexico and all this other stuff, and I'm not saying anything bad against that, but a lot of times they have to go through certain process to be able to last long enough to get to you.
Additives and preservatives.
Exactly. You don't know what all has been added to it. So I say grow your own stuff, even if it's a windowsill. Grow your own vegetables, you know, because you want the freshest, most nutritious vegetables to keep you healthy.
And it saves you money.
And saves you money also. So what I got next in this lasagna gardening, we got the cardboard, we got the wood chips, and then what I did was I actually had some soil that I put together myself. And what I do is I usually I save all my kitchen waste, except for meat and bone, stuff like that. What I'll do is anything that we peeled, washed, cut up, you know, especially all the vegetables, eggshells are some of the best stuff, and we'll put that in a pile, and I let that go pretty much all last year. Unfortunately, last year I did go out and buy bags of soil, potting soil, but this last time I said, you know what, I want to make my own. So I got a pond. I went out and I dug some of the pond scum up, and I mixed it with the what I've got breaking down, you know, over on the side, and I basically created my own soil. So what I did was I'll take that and I'll put pile, or not say piles, but I'll make rows, and then I'll put down on top of the soil that I created, I'll put grass clippings. I got hay that I got from the neighbor. You know, like I said, I try not to buy anything if I don't have to. And then what I'm going to do is, throughout the winter, I'm going to let that break down. And then when spring comes, after the last thaw or last freeze, I'm going to come down, I'm going to put my seeds, my pods, whatever I want to plant, and then I'll put another layer of hay on top of it. And what's going to happen is the hay that's here now is broken down, and it becomes nutrients for the ground, and the seeds will start digging into this old hay and the soil and everything else that I've got there, and the new hay that I put over the top. Basically, it's like a layer of dirt without having the dirt, and it protects it from the sun and everything else, and it grows up, and just that simple.
Now you mentioned, like you said, the meat and the bones. You said those are the ones.
Bones. What we can do with meat and bones, and maybe like leftover cuttings and stuff from animal products, is you can actually go through and you can bury it in your garden also, and that actually becomes more nutrients for what you're growing.
Okay.
So,
now, I mean, I realize that those are the ones that take the longest to break down, like the bones and stuff.
right.
Is there any other like type of food or waste that you wouldn't recommend?
Anything processed. I wouldn't bring out anything processed. Like if you go and you got like your processed meats or anything that looks, even if it might have too many chemicals in it, you know, from the store or whatever, I wouldn't use anything like that. I would use only like fresh, you know, wholesome stuff to try to, you know, keep all that chemicals and stuff out of your garden, out of your plants, out of your vegetables, and out of your system.
Not to mention out of your soil and out of your you know what I mean.
Out of everything.
Yeah. So that's good though. I mean, and
keep it out of everything totally, so that
we
can all become healthy again.
He definitely has the rows here, where he's kind of layered it like lasagna.
Right. Makes me want to jump in there and start eating it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, did this light just go off? Why did that?
So what I would suggest, especially in the schools, because I think you had mentioned something about the school system, maybe starting a, still rolling?
Yeah, we're still rolling.
Okay. Trying to get something going, you know, to teach the kids, and I think it's a great opportunity. And you might want to use this system because a lot of things can be donated to the school, and you don't have to tear up any of the ground. You actually use the grass as part of the grass will break down underneath and becomes nutrients for the soil. So doing this system would actually work out really well. And as you can see, just before we had our first freeze, I put garlic out already, and we're not even in. We're tomorrow's Christmas. So, and I wanted to show you this. I already got garlic rolling.
That's nice.
I already got garlic growing. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to actually go dormant and come back in the spring. So hopefully, you know, what we got here is not going to get damaged by any of the freeze. But garlic actually is really good with cold weather. It actually will. You put it in like a couple weeks before your first freeze. It actually has a chance to kind of grow and get established. And then when the freeze does come, it kind of like, you know, goes dormant, kind of dies back a little bit. And then as soon as the last freeze is over and it's warm enough, you're going to have garlic all over the place.
Nice.
So for the most part, what I'll do is as soon as I can get over the last freeze around this time, or this area, is right around after Mother's Day. So right around after Mother's Day, I'm going to come out and I'll start laying everything out, planting everything, and then put a new layer of hay over everything, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'll send you pictures and see how everything goes.
Cool. All right. And it, not to mention the school thing, it's a good thing for kids to get into, not only to be able to, you know, grow your own things and you know, watch how it grows and the education in that. But you know, it keeps
It
kids
also
out of
teaches you health.
and responsibility actually, and,
And
and it keeps you out of trouble
right.
too. It keeps those kids out of trouble.
This is definitely keeping me out of trouble. I got no time for anything else. I can't run the streets anymore.
Yeah, right.
But I appreciate you coming. And like I said, we'll let you know how everything goes.
All right, Freddie. Thank you.